How's it going, guys? Ghost Caliber here, and welcome back to another episode of Today on Twitter. Now, like I said yesterday, I was going to upload a video on TikTok. Funny thing is, that video did get taken down, but I was able to repeal it. And honestly, it got a lot more traction than I thought it was going to get. As of right now, 16 hours after it went up, it has 806 views. Mind you, I only have 107 followers, so that's a pretty big deal to me. So, thank you all for watching that video. Honestly, I'm going to start shouting out my channel on there more, because I get way more views on there than I do here, and I'm also going to try to use a lot of algorithm bumps. Obviously, I'm trying to continue doing these, but I'm also trying to get people to see these, that's why I post these. I post these so people can watch them, and I post them for fun. But so first things first, we got ourselves something I want to talk about. We're gonna go from least egregious to most egregious. One thing I want to show y'all is this weird ass app. Can I say ass? Yeah. Okay, cool. It's after 30 seconds. So this weird ass app that, honestly, I just want to show you it first before I start getting into it. Roll it.
Guys, I just hit 20,000 followers, so it's time to spill the tea. And that is that this is actually an app called Famify, and these are all actually AI-generated comments and reactions. Famify lets you experience what it would be like to be a big-time influencer. You get to immerse yourself into the spotlight of a simulated audience, all within a virtual, risk-free environment. It's fun and great for anyone wanting to start an influencer career to get a little...
Now, I just think it's a little, call me like old-fashioned or whatever, but I don't know. I think it's a little weird for you to go on an app to try to find, that gives you AI bots to pretend to be famous. Why not just do the work and be famous? I know it's like a super hard grind, and you're gonna have to be like really attentive and everything, but it's gonna be worth it in the end, man. Like, straight up. But some of these people were like, I saw another ad that I can't show because for some reason, the Twitter account was private. That's why I had to go to TikTok to find an ad about the same app. So the one I saw on Twitter was a girl saying like, oh, if you ever need practice and everything, it's like, practice practice for what? You can't really practice with AI. Like what happens, and now I gotta ask, what happens if you just start saying slurs? Is the AI gonna turn on you? Or this is just such a weird thing that we don't see every day, which there's a reason for it. It's just straight weird. But speaking of weird, we got ourselves some books and at a Barnes and Noble store, and I'm just gonna show them up on the screen right now just so y'all can get a nice good look. And it's I'm not sure what y'all seeing, but this is the thing that makes me feel a little off, because it reminds me a lot of, I know I'm going to go a little extreme, kind of like what happened in World War II, where kids were marketed to a lot on all sides of the war, but the kids were really marketed to a lot, mainly because kids are very impressionable. They don't really question things because their brains aren't developed that much. So like I was saying yesterday, you can really put whatever around a kid and they're gonna listen, because they think immediately what you say is true unless they know 100% otherwise. And with something like this, especially with a kid so young, because you can see some of these books are as you saw, some of these books are kind of for little kids who will not really be introduced to this stuff yet. So they'll be like, why should I not believe it? I've never heard of this before, right? And then they're gonna just start doing what kids do and just be like, oh, what if I'm like that? And it's And it's like, you don't have to be a genius to know what's going on here. And once you like think about it, it's really egregious, and it pisses me off a little bit because they try to act like, oh, it's never about the kids, and it's like, it is. This is why, like, honestly, and I know this might get my video taken down or something, but I think this is why people are homophobic. Like, our people are becoming homophobic and transphobic, like, at a higher rate now. Because you go after kids. Kids are such a touchy subject. Why do you think the most hated people in the world are predators? Because they harm kids. They prey on kids. It's just a natural human instinct to want to protect kids. So when you put kids in harm's way like this, or try to twist their brain, and like, I'm not saying any of this stuff is wrong. I'm just saying it's wrong to try to show this stuff to kids when they have parents to do it for them. Now, we're going to get back on this topic, but first, let's switch gears and talk about the Kai Cenat riots. Now, I'm going to show you two clips, actually. It's about the same topic. One from a female streamer named Denims, and then we're going to show you another thing from a streamer called Hassan Abi, which, by the way, I really, really, really do not like Hassan Abi. He is the most hypocritical person in the world, and I think there's like a word for him, because he's a type of guy who is a quote unquote socialist. I say quote unquote because, like, oh yeah, he's a champagne socialist. Like, yeah, he's a champagne socialist. Cause he talks about, like, oh, we gotta eat the rich and we gotta distribute the wealth, meanwhile being in the top 1%. And he's like, oh well, what I mean by eat the rich, it's like, I'm not talking about the millionaires like me. No, I'm talking about the billionaires. And it's like, you can tell by what he says that he's never been poor. He's never been poor. He's never had to like live paycheck to paycheck. He's like, he came from a rich family, and he's rich himself. And obviously his morals aren't that good, because if he really stood on his morals, he wouldn't be working. He wouldn't be on Twitch. He wouldn't be working for Amazon. Like, whew, man, I could really go rip into Hassan, but then again, what would I say that no one else has said already? So, without further ado, let me roll this clip by Denims. Roll it.
Honestly, I was inciting a riot. They might not get him on the permit stuff or whatever, but inciting, please. No, he was not inciting. He just made the mistake of being black and being near cops. That was the mistake. I don't know. That shit was a really stupid idea. Like, they knew that. Okay, wait. So I have a very nuanced position of, I think it's crazy that he got charged and Trump still hasn't gotten charged when one of them had intent.
So let me just let that sink in real quick, that she just really said all that and acted like she actually said something, when in reality she's just being a stupid fuck. Because let's be real, no matter how you try to look at what Trump said, if you look at what he said and what actually ended up happening, he didn't intend for there to be a riot. He did not say riot. He mentioned the opposite, actually. He said peaceful protest. Did that end up happening? No, because they met opposition in the form of Antifa. So, you know, you have one side meeting a very violent opposition. They kind of have to get violent, too, to protect themselves, correct? And, well, Kai Cenat didn't intend for there to be a riot either. He didn't really try to quell it either, like... And not only that, he was kind of inciting it. I don't think he intended to, but then again, I don't think anyone intends for there to be a riot. But when there was one, he was just like kind of like hyping it up. You know? So it's like, there was no gray area with you, Kai. You really just did it. Like, you hyped it up, dude. But there she goes. It says like, oh, the only mistake he made was being black near cops. And are we going to ignore the fact that the cops were also black? But regardless, yeah, the only mistake he made was being black near cops. Definitely not the fact that they robbed stores, that they destroyed property, not that they I'm not sure about this one because I heard it. Because there was rumors to be a gunshot, but turned out someone just got their arm blown with a firework. So that also happened, which is grounds for assault. So still don't know exactly what else transpired, but yeah, with all that knowledge that we have, how about Denims? You do research first before you speak. Because if, like, I don't understand what these people are allergic to. It's like they're allergic to doing simple fucking research. It's funny to me. Like, dude, research your topics before you talk about them. Yeah, sure, sometimes I'll hop on here and I'll say something, right? But I do research before I actually, like, make a full statement. I'll do a little bit of research beforehand. And, like, just do one Google search. It's cheap. It's cheap. It's free. All it takes is like a couple minutes of your time. Sure, you might have to read an article or two, but at least you'll be informed. And with people like these who have huge fan bases, they can just like just watch. Like, they have such huge fan bases. Like, your dumbass fans are just going to, like, your dumbass brain dead fucking fans are going to just listen to whatever you say because they're not educated enough to fucking look out and be like, hey, maybe I should search up what this person's saying. Maybe I shouldn't just take everything they say at face value. Like, straight up. Do that, please. That's what I did yesterday on TikTok. I looked at the article that the bitch had, which she didn't bother to fucking read, and showed her, hey, maybe if you read this article that was not long at all, you would realize that this was indeed a crime. But I digress. Let's show you this Hassan Abi clip, because I'm probably going to get more heated. Roll it.
His whole kiosk was ransacked, all the ships were broken and pulled apart, things were taken off of it, and he was saying that he was injured because he was trying to stop the kids, and they hit his head, his neck, his back. The gentleman is in his 60s. He was talking to EMTs that were there and talking to the police that were there, giving them a report of what happened. But a totally just innocent victim in all this, that he was just doing his job, going about his day, and his business got ransacked there. But from where we are here, it does that the officer of circumventing them in that sense. And it from my perspective, that's.
I fucking despise local media, dude. There you go. There is no better representation of how dog water local media is and how much they exacerbate like narratives that you see on Fox News. What role they play in the boomer reactionary pipeline. Local media talking about $3 worth of fucking Doritos. Like, there was a bank run or some shit. Like, also want to fucking make it seem like, this is a riot that was completely out of control. It's tragedy porn met with also like black unruly teenagers. Look at them.
Yeah, so do y'all hear how this fucking guy talks? Like, like the way he's talking about it, like, obviously it wasn't $3 worth of fucking Doritos because, bro, there's videos of the guy being hauled out, like, with other people around him trying to protect him, and his store's just getting stolen from. Like, people just coming in and staking shit, and that's his fucking business. And I hate how this guy was, how, like, Hassan was laughing at him, because, like, Hassan is a fucking idiot. And not only that, not only is he an idiot, not only is he a hypocrite, not only is he a champagne socialist, he's rich as fuck. He's rich. He doesn't have to worry about having to go back to a job that he got robbed at. He doesn't have to worry about anything in his entire fucking life. Not because he worked, but because he was born to a rich family. And you're born to a rich family, never have to work a day in your life. You have to just sit on stream, eat food, and watch videos that aren't yours and give fucking bullshit, stupid commentary. And it's like, honestly, when he watches shit, I don't think he really listens either. Because he's like, oh, the local media is making it seem like it was a uncontrolled riot, because it was. And not only that, he's like, oh, they're unruly black teenagers. Why is it always, like, honestly, bruh, I'm not sure if y'all know this, but I'm black, right? So when I hear shit like this, it pisses me off a bit that they don't pay attention to the person, they just pay attention to the skin color. Because I'm not sure if it's just me, but do y'all ever think that, like, don't y'all ever hear how racist y'all sound? Like, y'all only ever make it about race, and it's almost never positive. It's like, oh, man, if it isn't for these, like, oh, man, I'm black, I can't do anything, or, oh, the world's so bent around me, black this, black that, I'm so bad, like, oh, my God, I can't get a single thing done because I'm black, like, oh, the world's against me because I'm black. It's like, what's happened to black excellence? What happened to black people can do everything, right? Like, they can. Like, what happened with that? Like, if a system's bent around keeping you down, here's the thing. I believe more black people should join that system. Because, like, honestly, I'm all for more black police officers. Because if you have more black police officers, especially in predominantly black areas, not only will people be more cool with police, but I highly doubt the police would get on black people as much. And even if they did, now it wouldn't be a race issue. Now we would have to look at the root of the problem, which it's not black people. It's the area that they're in. And it's not because they're black. It's because the area is impoverished. It's because poor areas. Like, if you look at the statistics, right? Poorer areas have more crime. Okay? And now you got to ask yourself this, right? If you have a predominantly white area that is a very poor area, and then you have a predominantly black area that's really rich, which area is going to have more crime? The poor area, obviously. So, like, yeah, if you have a predominantly white area, even though it's white and has a lot of crime, where do you think the cops are going to be more? The white area or the area with all the black people that are rich? If you said all the area with all the black people that are rich, you're probably a fucking brain dead idiot, because they're obviously going to be where all the crime's at. So then when that happens, are you going to say that, oh, it's because they're white? No, you're going to be like, well, it's because they're committing all these crimes because they're poor. Yeah, you get where I'm going with this? This is more of a class issue, but you're not paying, and people like Hassan don't want to pay attention to that, because it doesn't make them money. When you talk about how this is a poor person issue and not an issue on race, then you don't have the divide and you don't make money. Controversy is cash, and cash is king. So, what I'm trying to get at is that don't listen to these fuckheads. They don't care about the things they talk about. Hassan doesn't care. Denims doesn't care. Fuck, Joe Biden doesn't care. Why? Because if we're still going off of a race issue and listening to these rich fucks talk down to us, by the way, I'm all capitalist, by the way. I'm not one of those communist fucks. But I'm saying is, if we keep listening to them and we're just still in this divide, we're never going to get anything done. We're never going to get to the root of the problem to make a better society. That's all I'm trying to say. So yeah, don't listen to these fucking idiots who don't give a shit, honestly. And you know why that they're never going to respond to someone like me? They're never going to respond to someone like me because if they did, they would be proving me right. Because the only thing they probably could say would be ad hominems. Couldn't prove any of my points wrong. Anyway, let's head back to our last topic, where we got ourselves a guy who is a personal favorite of mine, or was, named Neo. Now, if y'all are in the black community, y'all know who Neo is. But Neo is this artist. He's a singer. I love Neo, but he says these comments based on the LGBT community. Now, I want to show y'all this, and he made an apology. Ugh. Roll the clip, baby.
I feel like parents have almost forgotten what the role of a parent is.
Amen.
It's like, okay,
Lost control.
if your little boy comes to you and says, "Daddy, I want to be a girl," and you just let him rock with that,
Right.
he's 5.
Right. And where did he get that
If
from?
you let this 5-year-old boy decide to eat candy all day, he's gonna do that.
Exactly.
Like, when did it become a good idea to let a 5-year-old, let a 6-year-old, let a 12-year-old make a life-changing decision for themselves?
Right.
When did that happen?
Right.
Like, I don't
understand
that. I don't get that.
And to medicate these young kids that are 5, 6, growing up and knowing that it affects their brain, it affects their organs, it makes them sick, but they're not allowed to do drugs, they're not allowed to do alcohol.
Right.
We can medicate
He
them
can't
up.
drive a car yet, but he can decide his sex.
Right, right. What sexual orientation, and he can cut off his pee-pee, and that, to me, that makes no sense whatsoever.
And I don't know if this is true, but I heard a rumor that they either passed or are trying to pass a law in LA that states if your child comes to you and asks to do some of these things and you say no, they can take your kid from you.
Yeah, that's true.
So my only ask is, what did he say that was wrong? I feel like him and her got it on the nail, bro. Like, I'm just saying, they hit that nail on the head. That's why, man. What the fuck am I saying? But nah, like, what they said is factual. I don't understand what was wrong. What they said. Now, I'd like to show y'all this. So, what I have on the screen right now is his apology, and it reads, "After much reflection, I'd like to express my deepest apologies to anyone that I may have hurt with my comments on parenting and gender identity. I've always been an advocate for love and inclusivity in the LGBTQI+ community, so I understand how my comments could have been interpreted as insensitive and offensive. Gender identity is nuanced, and I can honestly admit that I plan to better educate myself on the topic, so I can approach future conversations with more empathy. At the end of the day, I lead with love and support everyone's freedom of expression and pursuit of happiness. You, sir, are a bitch. I'm just saying, you lost your balls, bro." And of course, you look at the comments. No one agrees with this man. Everyone's calling him weak and pathetic. Like, dude, like, what the fuck? Like, let me go through one of these, right? So, Joey Monarino says, "You are now as disgusting as the rest of them. I was so proud of your comments. Now you are nothing in my eyes." And this one, the libs of Reddit, says this perfectly. "It's a never-ending cycle. Make a valid point, get attacked by the woke mob, apologize and promise to better educate yourself, continue getting attacked by the woke mob anyway." Why? Because they like attacking people. They love outrage. They love fake outrage, and they don't like anything positive, which I feel like I've fallen into that cycle myself. So tomorrow, for today on Twitter, I'm going to try to look for positive things to talk about. Now, it's going to be a little bit weird, and controversy sells, but I feel like making a video here and there about positive things is going to, help out in the long run, at least for me. And that's all. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. I know I had a lot more topics and a lot more clips this video, but there was a lot happening today on Twitter. And if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, share the video out. That's the best thing you could do for the channel. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.